Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy Froakies back again once again for another episode of CPC Offseason Weekly Recap. I'm your weekly recap host as usual for the last 9 weeks. This is the last week you'll hear my lovely voice if I can spit it out, and it is very exciting. We have 2 really good games today to get through. We have our third place playoff with Turkey and Hiker, which is sure to pack a lot of heat, fighting it out for the third place position, so it's going to be really cool. And of course we have our championship game with A12 taking on Johnny in a battle of the Titans. Let's see who is going to win and who is going to come third place. I am hyped, let's do this. We'll get into our third place playoff right now. Here we have it, folks. This is our third place match. So there's a lot of talk going into the game that there's going to be a lot of heat in this match, because even though it is for third place, obviously it's not as important as the other game that is being played this week. So I expect a lot of heat, a really fun battle between 2 really good battlers. So Turkey leads off with Electros, Hiker with Wheezing. We see a bit of heat from turn 1 with Coil Electros, which you don't see very often. Is a pretty cool set, and then we find out next turn he is packing the Z-move Breakneck Blitz, which OHKOs the Wheezing, which shows how powerful that actually is, because Wheezing is a defensive monster. So here we go into Zygarde. So Core Enforcer, I actually have no idea what that is, so it sounds bad as an analyst. I probably should know that. I'll research that another time. But yeah, that kills the Electros. He goes for a sub. Even though this is not very effective, it will break the sub because Katana isn't very bulky, as we know. He is a toxic subset. Even though it is resisted, it is able to kill. Goes into Florges. Obviously he's not going to stay in. Goes to his Klefki. He reveals Calm Mind Klefki, and then the next turn is heat. So he brings his Sunny Day. We have a Cursed Ferrothorn. A lot is going on at the moment. He is Hidden Power Fire. Luckily he has Ockerberry to take that quite well and can kill with the Gyro Ball. So here the Shaman is a Growth Shaman, which is awesome. I've never seen one of them before. And it is going to do over half with a Hidden Power Fire, it looks like, to the Florges, which is massive. But it is a speedy Florges and can outspeed the Shaman. He goes into his Miltank, who can take a Moonblast quite well. He hits it with a Gyro Ball, does a massive 1%, but he does hit it with a boosted Fire Punch. So that is Ferrothorn down. Here we have a Z-move, we have Breakneck Blitz again, getting a real workout. He has the Citrus Berry, so we see a Stockpile Pelipper, and a Giga Impact Miltank. So there's just heat going on everywhere at the moment. Now we have a Bulk Up Tauntae, so everything's going on, as I said. Body Slam isn't quite doing enough. So he's going to go into the Zygarde. Obviously, Core Enforcer will not hit him in the air. He's going to use Fly. It won't quite take him out, but obviously Core Enforcer will not kill, with the defense being so high at the moment. And he's going to Fly again, and the Toxic will be able to take it out. And he's going to deal enough damage to the Miltank. He gets the Para. The Giga Impact doesn't quite kill, and he is Rest Tauntae again, which is pretty cool. So the game's pretty much over now. He's going to go into his Infernape. He is sub Focus Punch Infernape, but it just isn't doing enough with the defense drop. So yeah, that Turkey is the third place for the CPC offseason, so I think that's a very good result for him. So yeah, as I said, unfortunately Focus Punch isn't doing quite enough, only about, it is doing 50%, but he is Leftovers and Fly. So yeah, if he was able to take him out there, he was a good chance of winning, but yeah, this is the turn where he takes it out, and then he does Rest just to be safe, I guess. Giga Impact is doing nothing, and he gets another Bulk Up. gets rest. He finally wakes up, goes for a fly, and that is your game. Yeah, so well done to Turkey. Unfortunately, I don't have the GFX for the kills, but yeah, obviously it was just a bit of heat, so it doesn't really matter. A lot of Mons actually put in work, which was nice to see. I think both players packed a fair bit of heat, especially Turkey. Yeah, it was just a pretty cool, entertaining battle in the end, and well done to both on a very successful season. We have our championship game with Johnny taking on A12. Hope everyone is hyped to see this match. We have the two best battlers of the tournament and the comp facing it off for the crown. We have two very different play styles, with Raspool being a bit more aggressive, attacking, but he does have some nice defensive mons as well, with A12 being the opposite, with a lot of defensive mons and a few good attacking mons. So it's going to be interesting to see how each other's play styles go against each other, as they have not faced during the tournament yet, and I'm not sure if they've even battled before. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yes, it's going to be a very good battle. As we can see, A12 brings a bit of heat with Arbok. A12 is known to kind of work with these kind of mons. We have a Crobat, we have a Drapion, so the poison core that A12 really likes. We have Diggersby, the great Diggersby, A12 signature mon. We have Tangrowth as a very nice defensive option, and Mandibuzz as another defensive option, defog option. For Raspool, we have a Thundurus who can be really devastating in this matchup. We have a Mega Lopunny, which also can be very devastating. We have a Heracross, we have a Skarmory, a nice defensive option. We have a Sylveon, which can be run either obviously defensive or attackive. And we have another nice defensive option in Piloswine. So with the matchup, it was probably, I'd say it'd be a bit of a 50-50 game. I don't think anyone had the better matchup. Maybe Johnny slightly. But A12 is a very good battler, so matchup doesn't seem to bother him, and same with Raspool. So yeah, it's going to be a really good game, so we'll get into the battle. Turn the music off. So A12 makes a huge misplay turn 1. He taunts on an oblivious Piloswine. So obviously Raspool, that was a plan of his to get up rocks, but A12 is able to defog straight away. But the Mandibuzz is toxic, which at the time doesn't seem big, but we will see later how much that helps Johnny. He goes to Foul Play, which is doing nothing. He sets up rocks again. A12 goes into the Tangrowth, because obviously physical defensive Tangrowth Piloswine isn't doing much to it. He reveals Sleep Powder. Goes into Skarmory, because obviously Tangrowth can't really touch that at all. He doesn't want the Leech Seed damage, or his item being knocked off. So Sylveon does not have leftovers. We know it's the leftovers variant of the Sylveon, and he is Leech Seeded. He goes into the Crobat. Bit risky because he could be packing Psyshock, but I think A12 is pretty confident he can live one. And he reveals his Nasty Plot Bat, which is massive. A typical A12 thing to do, pulling off something so ridiculous in such a high profile match. But in saying that, there is special bats around, but it just isn't very common at all. So I don't think he's packing Psyshock, obviously, or he would have went for it. So he goes into his Thunder. So this play, it's a big call to say it decided the game, but it put A12 on the back foot a lot, and they were having a bit of an I wouldn't say an argument. They were having a bit of a chat about. We'll do the turn first. So he goes for a Sludge Bomb, and he lives with 1%, and he is able to kill with Wild Charge. It takes him out. So A12's argument was, or point was, that Crobat swept. I'm not going to look too much in the matchup to see if that was the case. Could have been. Raspool was saying that he had stuff to deal with it. So, but in the end, that was a massive, massive play from A12. If he was able to take the Thundurus, he would have had a healthy Crobat. He probably would have been able to kill something else, if not two things at least. And it just put him in a really good position. So he was fair enough to be a little bit salty for that. So here, Raspool goes for a substitute. So here, again, this is massive in the matchup because A12's team is quite passive. He does have a little bit of offense, but the majority of it is very passive. So to reveal sub Lopunny, Tangrowth can't, with the set that A12 has and Toxic, again to whittle it down, A12 cannot touch the Lopunny. And that is massive because Tangrowth normally walls the Lopunny, but seeing that he can't do anything back to it, he can't even break the sub with 2 rock slides, he now has to switch out and get something else to take damage. And obviously Drapion isn't the best switch into a Lopunny when it does 50%. So now he pretty much has to sack off the Drapion. I think A12, if he was looking back at this game, he would have obviously put a move on Tangrowth to be able to hit the Lopunny to break the sub. Again, because he has the sub up, he can hit the Mandibuzz. Not very hard, mind you, but he can hit it. And see, this is where the toxic damage really settles in. Because A12 goes to the Defog, gets rid of his rocks. He now baton passes, and he pretty much sacks. Oh no, he doesn't. He goes for another Roost, sorry. But now Heracross is behind the sub, and it can almost kill with the Stone Edge. And he has to go for the foul play to break it, but now it dies to poison. So Mandibuzz, which was the Mega Lop, and Tangrowth, is really poisoned. Mandibuzz is dead, all because of Substitute and Toxic. So, obviously, when you're versing a quite passive team, Toxic is very handy. So, obviously, Return isn't doing much to a Scarm. He's just going to set up his Spikes, which is going to late game pressure switches for A12. So he goes into his Sylveon. Tangrowth can't really hit it. Unfortunately, he does miss a Sleep Powder, which might have influenced the game. I'm not quite sure about that. Goes into Diggersby. Heals up his Scarm. So obviously he doesn't want to stay in. So he goes into his Tangrowth, which is getting whittled down by Spikes and Toxic. He goes for a Leech Seed. No, he goes for a Sleep Powder, sorry. And now he switches into Scarm, who switches into Diggersby. He sets up another pair of Spikes. He goes into his +1 here, pretty much to sack it off. It's done its job. It's got up, well, it did get up rocks for a fair jam. But he doesn't actually sack it. He goes into his Skarmory because obviously he thinks A12 is locked in a return, so it's not going to do much to the Skarm. And he's going to Roost back up. He's going to Leech Seed, but he's going to Whirlwind with the Spike. So here we have Arbok, the Charbok, in. So I'm not sure what he can quite do to Skarmory. So again, he switches into Tangrowth. He's going to Whirlwind again. Goes back into the Arbok, taking damage from the Spikes, as we know. Goes back into the Tangrowth. He sets up another Spikes. He probably could have just Whirlwind there, but it doesn't really matter. Another set of Spikes is nice. He roosts up. He finally gets the knockoff. A12 gets the knockoff the lefties. He roosts back up. Obviously, Tangrowth can't really touch it at all. He goes into Sylveon. A12 makes a double into Diggersby. And he sacks off his Sylveon. Sylveon, again, has pretty much done its job as well. So here he goes into Heracross. He goes into the Charbok. Charbaka. And the Megahorn isn't doing anything. And he reveals his Scarf Arbok and kills. I'm not sure if the crit mattered. Probably did. But, yeah, it was just, I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, it was pretty cool from A12. The Whirlwind does kill the Arbok. He's able to Sleep Powder the +1. He's Leech Seeding it. He's just going to get some Ice Shard damage here. And next turn, he is going to be able to take out the +1. But now pretty much the Lopunny gets a free sub, and that is good game. So the Lopunny, obviously now it just wins. He can return the Tangrowth. Diggersby can break the sub with Quick Attack, but it won't be enough. And that is the game. So congratulations to our champion of the CPC off-season in Ricepool in a really, really tight game against A12. He didn't have the best of luck, but I think Johnny played very well and deserved that. Yeah, just a great effort by Johnny Ricepool for winning that with really good competition in the CPC off-season. A very well-run tournament by Shadow and Phillip. And yeah, just again, congratulations to him and also A12 for making the final. Both had a really, really good tournament, and yeah, hopefully there's bigger things for them to come in the CPC if they are lucky enough to get in, which I'm sure they will be. So, well done, guys, and great game. That was awesome to analyse, and it's been a pleasure analysing your games for the whole season. There you have it, guys. That is the last episode of the weekly recap for CPC off-season. Congratulations to our champion, Johnny, our runner-up A12, and our third place getter in Turkey. I think everyone had pretty good tournaments. A few people struggled, I guess, at the start and in the pool play, but whoever advanced to Phase 2 all had really good tournaments and showed their worth for the CPC, which obviously is the whole point of the off-season, get more talent into the CPC, which I think they have been very successful in doing that. So yeah, sadly this will be the last time you hear from me, or will it? No, it won't be. I have a massive announcement. I've been lucky enough offered a place as an analyst for the regular CPC season. Thank you so much, Shadow, Philip, and everyone else. I'm so pumped up to be able to be involved with such a great league, well run, great players in the CPC. Had players like obviously Zazo, Gypsy, and so forth. Just too many to name, and obviously I'm not going to reveal anything because that's up to Shadow, but heaps of really good battlers coming in and other massive news for the league. So thank you very much. This is not the last time you'll see me. You will see me in the weekly, or it might be in the weekly, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but you will see me in the regular CPC. I've made it in, and I'm hoping to make my mark on it, whatever show I get. Again, just, yeah, thanks guys. This video's got a lot of positive feedback, not much negative feedback. I've got a few things that I can work on, which people have said, which is always nice. But yeah, 90, probably 95% positive feedback. So it's just been a joy to bring you guys content every week, analysing all these great battlers' games. And for the last time in the weekly recap off season, but not in the CPC, goodbye, have a good day, and it's your boys Froakies 14 signing out for one last time for the CPC off season. I will see you guys in the regular CPC season, and hopefully you tune into my videos and love my analysis. I'm looking to improve and do a really good job for Shadow and the CPC. Thanks guys, peace.